Okay. So I was just talking about like a 6 areas in life. If we pay attention, we'll see that our practice becomes better and better. And this is from Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna says, eating, recreation, desires, actions, sleep, and wakefulness. Okay. So these are the 6 areas, 6 things all of us do. We all eat, we do take rest, and we enjoy life, vacation and all that, recreation, or we have some kind of a hobby, we play outside. We all have desires. If we didn't have the desires, we won't be here. And we do the karma. And we do all sleep. We need sleep for rest. And then we are awake also. So these are the 6 areas where we need to work on. Is there more and more satvikta in these areas? Are we losing ourselves? Okay. So normally for the last 2-3 weeks, we have started this class with meditation. But today we are going to do meditation later on. There's so many different ways to meditate. So one way is with the help of the koshas. Koshas means, it means the layers also. Layers on our real light. Who we are. Atma, soul, self. The layers on that. Or kosh means treasure also. Okay, these layers are not bad layers. With the help of these layers, we can attain godhood. So that's why the rishis, they called it kosh. There is one Upanishad which is called Taittiriya Upanishad. Few years ago, we studied that in detail at the ashram. And over there, the yogic guru explained it to his students that these are 5 bodies. He called it a kosh also, but he said these are bodies also, 5 bodies all of us have. Most of us are familiar with the physical body. We exercise it, we clean it, we nourish it, we do all kinds of things with this body. But how about the other 4 bodies? We need to take care of them also in order to do those 6 areas of life which I just mentioned. And these 5 bodies are progressively subtler bodies. And this is what our personality is composed of. That Rishi said, human beings consist of a material body built from the food they eat. Those who care for this body are nourished by the universe itself. That means if we take care of this human body of ours, universe helps us. And what is this universe? Universe has all these devatas, God, lot of forces, they all help us if we take care of this body. If we consider this body as a temple, that's why that popular saying, Deho Devalya Prokta. This is a Devalya. Devatas reside in it. Okay, so this body is not a bad thing, but we need to take care of it properly. Then he said, this Rishi in the Taittiriya Upanishad, inside this is another body made of life energy. it fills the physical body. So that means that life energy, the pran, is not just in the heart. It fills the whole body. Everywhere. Kan. So inside this is another body made of life energy. It fills the physical body and it takes its shape. I'm just telling you that this is the scripture is in Sanskrit. Just to simplify it, I'm giving you the English translation of it. Those who treat this vital force as a divine experience, they have excellent health and longevity. That's why we do pranayam. That's why we've been talking about pranayam for the last so many weeks. To nourish it, to take care of it, this second layer of ours. Why the health and the longevity? Because this energy is the source of the physical life. So if energy is not moving properly, this physical encasement which we live in, it just loses its health. And within the vital force is yet another body. This is made up of thought energy. It fills the two denser bodies and has the same shape. Ordinarily, we think that thoughts are here. But this Rishi said, it's everywhere. Those who understand and control the mental body are no longer afflicted by fear. Okay? And I'm giving you these quotations from that Upanishad.
Harsh, can you please repeat this? The third one, thought energy fills what?
Yeah. Within the vital force is yet another body. This one made of thought energy. It fills the two denser bodies. Two denser bodies means the physical and the pranic, and has the same shape. Those who understand and control the mental body are no longer afflicted by fear. So that means if we really know this is our mind, this is my mind, control over the mind. And then the fourth one is deeper still lies another body comprised of intellect. And those who establish their awareness here in the intellect, they can free themselves from unhealthy thoughts and actions, and they develop a self-control. Hidden inside, yet a subtler body, which is composed of pure joy. And it pervades the other bodies and shares the same shape. It is experienced as happiness, delight, and bliss. So these five bodies are called koshas. In English, it's written Koshas, koshas, or sheaths. Sheath is like a sword in a scabbard. Okay, so just like it just goes inside. That's how it is. One just going inside the other completely. Only the densest, the first one is made up of matter. Other four are energy states, They are invisible to physical eye. We cannot see the pran, we cannot see the man, we cannot see the intellect, we cannot see the anand. We really cannot see it. We can see and feel only this physical body of ours. But these rishis, they tell us the source of our well-being lies in these subtler bodies. Because even after death, after the death of this body, we travel in the other bodies. So while we live on this earth, it is our duty to know these other layers, to nourish them properly, to take care of them, so that the journey after this human journey will be better too. It's almost like a car sitting in my garage. Take care of it, but when you go outside also, make sure the tires are okay, brakes are okay, gas is there. So this is what we need to do. Take care of these bodies because we'll be traveling in it afterwards. And that's why the yogis, they developed proper exercises to strengthen and tone each one of them. As I said earlier, that you're already familiar with your physical body. I'm sure most of you exercised this morning, washed it inside, also some of you with the native woman and all that. Okay, so we are familiar with it. This physical body, the Sanskrit name for this is Annamaya Kosha. Anna means food, it's made out of food. That's why if we were born like a 6-7 pounds and now we are whatever pounds we are, how did it grow? With the Anna, the food we eat. An doesn't mean just the grain, An means the food which we eat. Annamaya. Maya means made of. So it's made of An. Okay. So the yogis, they say that eat at the proper time, eat sattvic food. How you eat, when you eat, where you eat is very, very important to keep this body healthy. Okay, so we don't have to talk much about this Annamaya Kosh. We are all very, very familiar with it. But the subtler than that, Pranamaya Kosh, energy body. When our Pranamaya Kosh ceases to function, our Annamaya Kosh also goes down with it. It no longer operates properly. See, like our heart, our lungs, they stop working and your cells begin to disintegrate when the energy is not being, it's not flowing properly. Okay, so Annamaya Kosh is dependent upon the Pranamaya Kosh. And what do yogis say? How do you take care of the Pranamaya Kosh, the second sheath? They say do pranayam. That's how you replenish the energy, the vital energy into the Pranamaya Kosh. So proper breathing exercises. Breathing we are doing all the time, but proper breathing. You remember a few weeks ago I told you our breath has to be deep also, noise free also, okay. Properly interval also. Okay, there is a quality of breath in us. That's what pranayama enhances. Okay, proper functioning of our second sheath is called, the way we do it is pranayama. Fresh air, sunlight, that all helps us. We absorb the energy from the sun into the vital force. Okay. There are some advanced yogis, if you read their autobiographies, They lived for several years without any food, just only absorbing the energy from the sun and the air. Okay, we don't have to do that, but still pranayam we should definitely do. Okay, not just for our lungs and heart, but this praning sheet everywhere. In our toes also, in our fingertips also. See, that's why I've been telling you, teaching you different kinds of pranayam. Surya Bhed Kumbhak Pranayam, Chandra Bhed Kumbhak Pranayam, Basrika Pranayam, Kevli Pranayam, and I hope you are practicing those. So that pran is being transmitted and healthy pran everywhere. Okay. So the third sheath is called Manomay Kosh, mental body. It is responsible for our sensory and motor activities. And our day-to-day awareness when we are functioning on automatic. It processes input from our five senses and responds reflexively. There is a proper reflex. So this body, which is called Manomay Kosh, which means the body which is made up of thoughts, thought processes. You get a clearer picture of this Manomay Kosh if you observe a patient in a coma. Their first sheath is fine. Their second sheath is still operating, the Pranamaya Kosh. Their heart continues to pump and their lungs expand and contract. But the person has no awareness of the external world and no ability to take actions because the activity of the mental body has shut down. This is a Manomay Kosh. The Pranamaya Kosh operates from the moment of our first breath all the way to our last breath. But the Manomaya Kosh takes rest on a daily basis, regenerating itself during this state of deep sleep. See, that's why the last week's class and this week's class, there's a connection. And next week's class, it will be another connection. Okay, so knowing this body is our body. This is a treasure God has given it to us. And it's our responsibility. So it's almost like a father gives a running business to a son. It's a son's responsibility to take care of it and then expand it further. So God has given us this treasure. And if we don't do something which we are supposed to do with this treasure, we are not good kids then. There's a purpose for all this. Okay, so this Manomaya Kosh has to take rest every single day in order to operate it better. And Manomaya Kosh is tremendously enhanced, not just with a deep sleep, through the practice of meditation, especially the mantra meditation. If you are fortunate enough to have a live guru, getting a live mantra from a guru, you will see that how easily your Manomaya Kosh gets enhanced. Because you give that mind of yours to your guru. Not for guru's benefit, but for your own benefit. And then you do what guru tells you, then of course this Manomaya Kosh will get enhanced. So this soothes and balances the inner body. And it helps release the knots. We often talk about the Hridaya Granthi, the knots. Those knots get loosened and our energy flows better. Okay, so we got to make sure all these bodies of ours are functioning optimally. So mental body or the Manomaya Kosh feeds on the sense impressions we offer it to. If we are supplying a continual stream of violent TV shows, video games, it begins to crave for that. It doesn't feel good with a calmer kind of a show, calmer kind of a life. It wants to feel stimulated. And that's how it becomes more agitated and less sensitive towards the suffering of others. See, right now what's happening in our country? Because we have ignored the suffering of a big portion of our society. They've been crying. Nobody listened because we became insensitive. So if we stuff our Manomaya Kosh with too much work, too much play, we may experience a form of mental indigestion. So that's why I told you that Lord Krishna, what did he say? Those 6 areas of our life we are responsible for if we want to have a yogic way of living. A harmonious environment, interesting professional challenges, not a competition all the time. There should be a challenge, but not a competition. Supportive relationships. Sometimes we have good relationships with the people we don't even know. On WhatsApp or on our Facebook, we can have a beautiful relationships. But the person we live with, the person we say, I love you, we really don't have a supportive relationship. That means our Manomaya Kosh is sick. So we got to have an ideal diet for our mind. And how do we do it? See, just like I told you, to keep the Annamaya Kosh healthy, we got to eat properly, exercise, all those things, which you already know. Pranayam Kosh, you got to do the Pranayam. Breathe properly. Okay? Sit in the sun a little bit. Fresh air. All those things are needed. For the Manomaya Kosh, what do you need to do? Definitely, you got to watch what you eat, what you absorb through the senses. But another thing you need to do, a daily session of pratyahar. Meditation, definitely, a lot of people, they cannot meditate. So at least they can do pratyahar. Pratyahar is on the ladder of yoga. Pratyahar is a term written over there, and which is called sensory withdrawal leading into meditation and inner tune-up. Okay, so a lot of people cannot meditate. It just, they say that, over the years, people have come to me, they say we sit and we cannot meditate and our mind is even more violent. Okay, so a daily session of pratyahar is a sensory withdrawal leading into meditations to provide us excellent inner tune-up. Okay, so these are the things we need to do for Manomaya Kosh. So now you see for the Annamaya Kosh what to do, Pranamaya Kosh what to do, and Manomaya Kosh what to do. This is our body. This mind is ours. And then subtler than mind is the Vigyan mein Kosh. Gyan means judgment, discernment, and it's often translated as intellect. Intellect. But there is a real meaning, broader meaning we got to understand about this Vigyan mein Kosh. When somebody cannot control their life, when people just constantly reacting to the circumstances rather than making a decision and responding proactively, that means the Vigyan mein Kosh is poor. This kind of a person has a hard time making up his mind, thinking of himself, and even being creative. Very little willpower, and continually the victim of his own poor judgment. It's just like when something they did, and afterwards when the result comes, they wonder why. They did not think about it before they acted. I'm sure when you were little, didn't you hear that? Think before you leap. That means before you do something, think about it. Think about where are you going? What is happening? Is it worth doing it? Or how you are doing it? Is it okay to do it or not? Think before you leap. Okay, so if our Vigyan mein Kosh is poor, we'll have this kind of energy in us. Another example of a deficient fourth sheath is someone without strong personal ethics. That person may attend religious services, even speak piously about moral values, but whenever the opportunity arises, a person will benefit himself or herself at the expense of others. Does not hesitate to act where somebody else is hurting. So, ability to discern between the right and wrong is weak. Okay? So, how do we really nourish this Vigyan mein Kosh? It is such an important Kosh. All of them are important, but if we don't make the right decision, our mind suffers, our pran suffers, and our body suffers too. So very, very important. It is so important. That's why our yogi gurus, they said this journey starts with this Vigyan mein Kosh. If you look at the chart of that complete yoga, the very first step in the Raj Yoga is what? Yam and the Niyam. If you follow those Yam and the Niyams, you are really working on your Vigyan mein Kosh. What are the Yam and the Niyams? Every yoga student should know these, memorize these. Yams are the commitments. Commitment to make it to yourself. I will not harm. I will not lie. I will not overindulge or even desire more than what I really need. Instead, you are asked to follow contentment, purity, self-discipline, study of the scriptures, and be a devotee to God. There are 10 of them, 5 yams and 5 niyams. Ahimsa, satya, ste, brahmacharya, aparigraha. Shauch, santosh, tap, swadhyay, ishwar, pranidhan. And I'm sure you will find it, most of you have the yoga books. Every yoga book has these 10. So if we really, whether we go to a temple or a church or not, but if we follow these 10, you will see that how enriched our life will be. So this is a Vijnanamaya Kosh. The path of the intellect.
Heshji, could you repeat the yams and the...
Yams are ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha.
What is aparigraha?
Not accumulating too much.
Okay.
Okay? Keep on reducing your desires and the needs also ultimately.
Okay.
Aparigraha. See, parigraha means accumulation. Aparigraha means opposite of that. Okay? And so yam, so these are the yams. Ahimsa, satya, asteya means non-stealing. And all of these are at the physical level, mental level, verbal level. Okay? They call it a kaya, vachna, manasa. Okay? And then niyam is shauch is purity, santosh is contentment. Okay? Tap means austerity. Swadhyay is studies of the scriptures. And Ishwar Pranidhan means surrender to God, faith in God, love for God. Okay? So these are, all 10 of them, they help our Vijnanamaya Kosh. We can make better decisions. Okay? And we will keep on, I mean, if something is, you don't understand, you will see that with these classes, you will have more and more understanding. Okay? So, but now there's another sheet. 5th one, because I told you there are 5. So, Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanamaya Kosh, and then the Anandamaya Kosh. Anandamaya Kosh. So, in vast majority of humans, the 5th sheath is totally underdeveloped. Totally underdeveloped. That's why all their attention is into the external world. They cannot sit still. They cannot be by themselves. They cannot be content. So underdeveloped. This is the Anandamaya Kosh. This is the subtlemost body. It can also be called a spiritual bliss. Generally, only saints, sages, genuine practitioners have done some inner work necessary to make Anand a living part of their daily experience. And most of the people are hardly aware of this level of consciousness exists within themselves. It is extremely important in yoga because this is the final veil which is keeping us to know ourselves. Anandamaya Kosh is not the soul. It is still a veil, but it's a final veil. It's almost like the final curtain. But we are so close and it is so thin that we start feeling the Ananda. Okay, but it is definitely a part of the personality, not the Atma. Okay. How do we make this Anandamaya Kosh healthier, better? Or how do we awaken this? The yogi gurus say there are 3 ways. One is called seva, selfless service. What does this do when we do the seva? I'm not talking about just ordinary volunteer work. Talking about a real seva. Seva opens our heart to our innate unity with other beings. Like you feel oneness. If I'm feeding somebody, I'm feeding myself. If I'm helping somebody, I'm helping myself. That's a seva. So selfless service opens our heart to our innate unity with other beings. If we are doing seva, but our arrogance goes up, that's not a seva. Or if you want a pat on the back after doing seva, that's not a seva. Okay? Is it opening our heart or not? And second way we can do is through Bhakti Yoga, devotion to God. This opens our heart to our unity with the all-pervading divine being. So first to the people, then to the divine being. And the third is samadhi. So seva, bhakti, and samadhi. And samadhi is intensely focused meditation. Not the meditation that my blood pressure should go down, not the meditation that I become a better meditator. Intense meditation which opens our heart to our own divine being. See how they are linked? Seva, bhakti, and samadhi. And of course, with that, what happens? That the real anand, the bliss, which is right here, it just flows out. We are multi-dimensional creatures. So we got to remember that, take care of all these dimensions of our existence. And yoga introduces us to ourselves. It trains us to live feel fully, completely, and gracefully at every level of our being. So that's why they say yoga is a very holistic system. Yoga really develops and integrates every part of our personality. Okay, it's not just only the arms and the legs and the head and the back, and no. So it's a physical body in its completeness, inside, outside, then the prana also, then the man also, then the intellect also, and then ultimately that sheath which is keeping us from knowing our real self, which is Anandamay, that also. So any question before we meditate? Today we're gonna meditate. I'll just, it's like a guided meditation with the help of these 5 sheets.
I have
That's
a
how we're
question.
gonna meditate. But if you have any question, I can answer your question before we start that. Let me see how much time we have. Yeah, we do have about 15 minutes of meditation.
I have a
Yes,
question.
Naina.
When you said about pratyahar, if you can't meditate, you do pratyahar. Can you explain that, please? And what is included in that?
Yeah, pratyahar is just sit down, close your eyes, close your ears, sit in an area where you cannot smell, you no taste, spend some time just within yourself. Okay, it will lead you towards meditation. No music, no TV, no smell, just sit, closing your, just think that you are closing all your doors. And there are pranayams also to help us do that. Maybe next week I'll teach you that pranayam.
Okay.
Okay, so with the help of that pranayam, you are just, I'm sure you remember that, closing your mouth,
Yeah.
closing your nose.
Yeah.
So we'll do that next week. I'll just teach everybody that pranayam also. So that leads us towards the like a intensifying our pratyahar, and pratyahar takes us to dhyan, And dhyan takes us to samadhi, right? So good question.
Thank
So
you.
next week we'll talk more about that. Anybody else?
Hershji, this is Raj.
Yes, Raj.
I just wanted to say this session was so good, so good. I can't say in words. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm glad you like it, Raj, coming from you, a seasoned medical professional, expert in so many areas. So this is really good. I mean, these yogi gurus, they must be happy because I don't own this. I'm just only giving you this knowledge, which I got it from my guru.
Because
But,
it just put everything in place.
Yes, it does. It just brings the whole sadhana which we do into the right perspective. That is very true. And then you've been asking for chakra meditation. You will see, Raj, when you bring that into it,
Yes.
that's another layer of enhancement. You will see. Next week we'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
next
you.
week we are going to do, I'll talk about the chakras, give you some detail, just like I talked about the koshas today.
Yes.
I don't see Neeru today. Neeru wanted to learn about the koshas, but looks like she couldn't get on. So that's okay. She can just listen to this because I'm sure it's being recorded. Okay.
Question.
Yes, Sunita.
Namaste, Heshji.
Namaste.
Aaj date mein, are there people who have attained samadhi?
Many.
Like, could you name some?
I don't think they would like to be named, but there have been. I grew up in an ashram in India.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
Yes.
I was born and brought up there. It was a everyday occurrences. Little children also, elderly also, male also, female also. So the purity has to be there. Even in this country, at this ashram, many people.
Oh, wow.
Yes. But people who go into this samadhi, see, like my own Guruji, because a lot of people will go into samadhi, like countless people will fall into samadhi in his presence. And sometimes the newspaper people, they would like to come over there, or TV people, they wanted to just make a documentary and put their pictures or write some article. Guruji just said no. They say it is their personal life. It's not to be advertised.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, so that's why I don't like to name those people, but there are people even in this audience who have reached that level. But then it doesn't mean that once you reach the samadhi, you have attained the moksha.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you reach that layer of your personality, which is close to the Anandamay Kosha, then further you got to work on it.
Yes.
Clean your sanskaras, clean your vasanas, and don't slip down. Okay, so but it is doable. We should not think that it happened only in the Satyug or the Treta Yuga, or only to the Shabri and Ahalya and those personalities. No, it is happening these days. But the place has to be pure. The person who's teaching, it has to be, there should be purity in that person's personality too, the mind also. And it's just like a purity at every level of our in teaching also, in learning also. Okay, so it is doable, and we got to have faith in it, and then keep on, we got to do our part. That's all. Okay,
Hersh, I just wanted to say, Rashmi, this is Rashmi.
Yes, Rashmi.
Whatever you taught today, it's everything is in Jainism. They are saying the same thing.
Yes, definitely. Jainism, see, like truth is one.
Yeah.
Truth is one, whether we call it a Jainism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism. In Hinduism, so many sects, doesn't matter. Truth is one. We are all just saying maybe with the different vocabulary. So we just got to follow the path we are on, and we'll reach at the same place.
Yes.
Presha always says that to me. Presha is in this audience also. She's also a Jain. She has been attending classes for several years now. And she always tells me that whatever she hears, it's the same in Jainism. No contradiction.
Yep.
I remember when Shanaz, she used to come. She's born, brought up as a Muslim. She used to say the same things to me. She said, I must have done some kind of a good actions, good karmas to have a yoga right now in my life. So to me, I think we all are looking for the same peace, same bliss. Okay, so it's good to have all of you in these classes so that there's a further affirmation to this truth. Okay, because we are experiencing it, we are working towards it. Okay, we help each other also. So let's try to meditate.
Thank you so much.
And as I said earlier, it will be guided, and I'm going to just maybe 10 minutes of it so that we don't take too much of your time. Yeah, 11:19 now, so 10 minutes. After that, we'll just have a little, at the end, little Om dhun, just a short one, and then we'll end the class. Okay, so I'll take you through all 5 sheets. So sit comfortably with your head, neck, and trunk in a straight line. Sit upright without straining. You should feel both alert and relaxed. Close your eyes. Withdraw your awareness from the sights and sounds around you. Bring your full attention to your physical body. Be aware of your head and shoulders, chest and waist, back and abdomen, arms and legs. This is your Anme Kosh. Now bring your full attention to the point between your nostrils and feel yourself breathe. Gradually, your breath will flow more slowly, smoothly, and quietly. Be aware of the energy pulsing through your body. It's making your heart beat, your lungs expand and contract. The blood course through your veins. Your stomach gurgle. The force behind all these movements, not your physical body, but it's a Pranayam Kosh. Shift your awareness into your brain. Pay attention to the part of your awareness that's regulating your sensory input and motor output. This is the part of you that notices your nose is itching. It notes that you are uncomfortable sitting in one position. It wants you to move your legs. It generates the reflective mental chatter that constantly fires through your mind. This is your Manome Kosh. Lift your awareness higher inside your skull. Sense the part of your awareness that consciously made the decision to participate in this class. and right now commanding you to sit still and complete it. It recognizes the value of expanding your self-awareness, compels you to get up early in the morning to do your asanas and meditation, even though laying in bed might be more pleasant. This is your Vigyan mein Khosh. Now center your awareness in your heart. Relax deeply. Keep breathing smoothly and evenly. Settle into a state of complete tranquility. Deep in that inner peace is a sense of purest happiness. This is not an emotional euphoria. It's a sense of great joy and gratitude. State of perfect contentment, perfect attunement, and abiding stillness. There is no sense of lack or fear or desire. This is your Anand mein Khosh. Now simply be aware of your own awareness, the pure consciousness that is having this experience which lies beyond this experience. It is your true inner self, your immortal being. Rest in your own being. And hold attention there. Return your attention to your breath. Breathe slowly, smoothly, evenly. Bring your awareness towards your heart center. Palms in the prayer position. Bend your head a little. Thank your parents. Thank your Guru. And thank God. Slowly you can open your eyes. And if you can have a couple of minutes of Om chanting or some other chanting, and then we'll open for general questions. Thank you very much. So any question?